for joining us today.
So glad you could be with us. I'm Sue.
I'm Michael, and this is Robyn.
Hi. We've met Robyn before. It's been about a year, though. It was almost exactly a year ago. A little more than a year. So yeah, you hear about us. We talk about Robyn a lot.
Yes, and this is Robyn, for those of you who have not met Robyn.
Hello.
Anyway, we are a close-knit family, and it is Friday, February 21st, 2020. This is Season 2, Episode 30. You were on Episode 30 last time, weren't you?
Maybe.
Or 40.
We'll go back and look.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
Don't know.
Yeah. We are a knitcast from Armstrong in the North Okanagan region of British Columbia, Canada, following our yarn and knitting addiction and Robyn. and Robyn.
And talking about Robyn.
Mm-hmm.
And
sometimes we talk about Robyn.
Things Mike knits for Robyn.
Mm-hmm. Such as.
Speaking of.
This. So yeah, I never had the proper chance to show it off as a finished object, so here is the
Ursa.
Yep, Ursa sweater from Jacqueline Cieslik.
Yeah.
Knit in a Cascades Eco wool.
Yeah.
In a nice dark red.
It's beautiful.
It's very nice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. You've had this for a little while now. When did I give this to you?
Our anniversary, so November.
November, yeah. And you've been wearing it. How do you like it?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yep.
Sleeves are a good length. I can't fiddle with them because sleeves are too long for me all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
No, I was just looking. It's okay. Don't point stuff out.
No?
It's
Okay.
good.
Because it's covered in cat hair.
Because it looks fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
It looks amazing on you.
And of course now, I'm looking at it going, oh, there's a problem there, there's a problem there.
No.
It's just covered in cat hair.
It's just covered in cat hair.
That's like me and my nails.
Yep. And she also brought the socks I made her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
They're also a little worse
These
for wear.
it gave you for your birthday.
Yeah, so March
last year. These were from a Midnight Cravings sock kit. So, yeah, there's about a year of use on a Midnight Cravings sock kit sock.
Yeah.
And
they're highly pilled.
They're very pilled, but
yeah.
You know, it happens.
But no breakthroughs, no.
I take really good care of them.
Mm-hmm. And this is using the Because Mom Told Me To sock recipe. And this was, I think, these were the first socks? No, these were not the first socks I knit. But they were pretty close.
Yeah. And a complete surprise.
Yeah, the first ones I knit...
Oh, you knit socks for
my friends.
For your friends first, yeah.
Yeah. And then for Christmas.
Yeah.
And,
Cool.
Anyway, I've been house sitting for a week. How have things been here?
Yeah, same old, same old.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying the Good Food box.
Oh yeah, how's that going?
So it actually just got delivered. Okay, well this week's one got delivered on Wednesday, and we weren't around yesterday or Wednesday night, so we haven't tried this week's one yet. But it's it's neat because you've got everything you need to make a meal as well as the recipes. Because let's face it, the worst thing about dinner is figuring out what you're going to make.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's really nice, and everything's ready to go. And it's like if you need like tahini or something, you have just enough tahini.
Oh, it's like pre-portioned.
It's pre-portioned, so you don't end up with this thing in the fridge that eventually goes bad.
Oh.
Yeah. We there was a night last week where Dad and I had Thai yellow curry meatballs on rice.
Mm-hmm. You sent me a picture.
Yes, that was delicious.
Yeah, I didn't have that one because apparently it was a bit spicy.
It was a bit spicy, yes.
I don't like spicy.
I like spice, which was good for me.
And I made the halibut.
Oh yeah.
Again, I think it was sort of a Thai thing, but it was halibut on like the big fat like udon noodles.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds really good.
And it was really good. But that's the other thing too, right? Like what comes in the pack for that meal are things like, and just sprinkle sesame seeds on top, right? Like all the little bits and pieces are all thought of and planned out. Oh right, with snow peas and bok choy. And
that sounds really.
And we're not sponsored.
No, we're not. Just something that's
it's just nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I'm right now. I just raced home from work so we could get this done.
Yep.
And
I'll hopefully have this up. I will have this up tonight.
Yeah,
Nice.
we'll edit it later.
nice.
Yeah.
So it's Friday.
You'll edit it.
Yeah.
So Yarnquisitions.
Yarnquisitions. I have not acquired anything.
Actually, yeah. Well, it's not. So I had mentioned before when I did that big, like, what stuff did I get from the yarn store when they had their big sale.
Yep.
I'd mentioned that I got the really big,
The
big
big
yarn.
Oh.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I picked up, and I just did sort of like a playful knit, but it's almost like it's a single. It does have a very light twist to it, but. So yeah, I just played with it. This was just hand knit. I knit literally there. Oh look, I dropped a stitch.
Ooh.
I dropped a stitch. Anyway, I literally just like pulled loops through and then pulled loops through and then pulled loops.
That's kind of what you got to do with yarn like this.
Yeah, well, people will make great big knitting needles out of PVC pipe and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's really smart.
So anyway, so I just knit that just to sort of see what it is and what it would look like and how much it would knit up to. So this is one ball, 500 grams, and that's how much you get.
And it is so soft.
It is.
What material is this?
It's merino.
Oh yeah.
I believe it's superwash merino.
Oh wow.
I'd have to look at the tag again. But I'm still thinking I might have to learn how to spin. Because I have two balls like this and two balls in like a salmony pink color.
Ooh.
But like this, you would just come straight off of this and to spin it.
Yep.
And there's like easily a sweater's quantity. Well, there's 500 grams of yarn there.
Yeah.
So pretty close to a sweater. It's like So this was yarn. The regular price for the skein was like $79, and I got them for $15. So I really could not pass it up, even if it was like I don't really know what I'm going to do with it.
Yeah.
It will do something for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it could be a lap blanket.
You got a couple skeins of that, right?
There's 2 cream and 2 salmony.
Those would make a really cute lap blanket.
They would. But I can't help thinking I want to spin it into something.
Spin them together.
Or
like the colors.
Or make cowls, like really chunky.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be
really
nice.
chunky cowls.
That'd be nice.
Sell them at work. Anyway, so that was a Yarnquisition.
Yarnquisition and whip?
And Yarnquisition and a what did you call it? Swatch.
Swatch, yes. I called that a swatch.
Yeah, I was swatching for gauge.
Yeah. Well, I saw is that your bind on or your bind off?
Oh, this where I just sort of pulled it through.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
No, I was like, I don't know. I'm done with this thing of yarn and I don't know where I'm going from here. So
okay.
So there it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Foes, I only had written down the sweater here, and we talked about that. Do you have any foes to talk about?
I guess I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you remember I talked about getting the yarn for Anna?
Yes.
So that she started me on, so this was the Wensleydale yarn.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? Wensleydale?
Loop.
Again, so from Fleece Artist, handmaiden.
Yes.
So this was the yarn that I just went one day and bought for Anna because I was like, those are so her colors and she's going to love it.
This is very Anna.
Yeah.
And it's the same as the green and blue poncho that I that I made for myself. And then what she did with her fringe, because I really do find if you're going to fringe something, it needs to have a different texture, especially with something like this.
Yes.
It needs to have a different texture than the rest of it. And what she did is she just put in some of the suede.
Yeah.
That suede yarn that I showed, 2 episodes ago?
One in your great big yarn acquisition.
In my great big yarn acquisition.
So,
So maybe it was last. No, it was the time before. No, it was last time.
We have notes for these.
Anyway, so this is the...
Last episode.
This is the Barocco suede.
Mm-hmm.
We're way far away.
Yeah. There's too many of us.
Yeah. The Barocco suede. So this is the one I said it sort of looks like a square knot in
macrame.
In macrame, yeah.
I like it.
But oh man, it's so beautiful and it's so Anna and she's
It
so
really is.
And it was I know that she was a little bit discouraged when she got to the point of I've got 2 rectangles.
Yeah.
And it's like you've got these 2 things that are about this big.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this isn't what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then when she saw mine finished, she was like, oh.
Yeah.
I get it now. And I was telling her she needed to wash it and kind of stretch it out. And she's like, I've got these rectangles. So yeah. Really, really, really love this. So yeah, Handmaiden Yarns, Fleece Artist. I've said before they do up kits for their stuff. And anyway, so yes, that was Anna's faux finished object.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have any other faux?
I do not have any other faux.
All right. Well, I think that moves us right on to whips. What do you have for whips?
In progress.
What do you have for whips?
Okay, so I think I mentioned these before.
You have mentioned those are the hiking.
These are the hiking socks
Yes.
that I was asked to create a pattern for, and they got a little bit of mohair in them, and I've pulled them out a couple of times now, but I think I'm finally at a place where I'm going to be able to go through and finish the socks.
Yay!
So, Custom Woolen Mills is the yarn, and the mohair is, Robyn.
Yep.
And so yeah, I'm doing the helical knitting.
Yes.
To create the stripes. And I did my usual toe.
Mm-hmm.
And I've used, so the mohair, the Rowan Kid Silk Haze, is being held with the turquoisey color. So that'll give a little bit extra strength to the toes and the heel.
Cool.
Very soft.
And it makes them a little bit, so and it's not on every, so there's the Kid Silk Haze.
Yep.
This is the color from Custom Woolen Mills. And then the green I'm holding double because it was a different weight of yarn. Yeah. So anyway, I'm happy with them.
Yes.
I'm happy with them so far. And of course, 2 at a time, toe up. That's how I do socks.
Yep.
It is a little bit interesting, and I know you ran into this with your project. Trying to do the helical knitting when it's not just straight stockinette stitch.
Yeah.
So where I'm not at yet, but I'm coming to shortly, are the increases for the gussets.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Yeah.
And I did that once before, but I've ripped out since then.
Yeah.
And it is kind of, basically what I'm doing is I'm just completely skipping. See, that doesn't work either though. But anyway, I'm working it out. I'm not sure how to explain that in a pattern. You kind of have to do a little bit of intuitive knitting.
Yeah.
To make that work. So I'm going to really pay attention to it this time and see what's what.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that, using the helical knitting to make the stripes, because then there's no start or finish.
Yep.
There's no line, there's no seam, there's no carrying.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing to weave in. And I just think it's a really cool way. And you could do this with 3 or 4 colors.
Yeah.
I've done it before with 3. And anyway, so that's one of my whips.
Yeah.
What do you got going on?
Well, I still got my beekeeper mitts from Mindy Dykman Designs. I was as you mentioned, I was so this is my progress on the left glove now. I already have the right one mostly done, just a little bit of sewing and weaving in ends and such to do. But so this is the left glove, and yeah, as you mentioned, I was doing because I was having a problem. Okay, I ran out of yarn. Well, almost ran out of yarn in that I was originally using. This is the Malabrigo Rios base with the Playa colorway, and this is also the Malabrigo Rios in the Playa colorway.
And that's what happens with hand dyed yarns, and especially, I mean, these are a couple years apart too.
Absolutely, I was not gonna even try to find something from the same dye lot as my original yarn.
Yeah. So
I was doing a little bit of helical knitting to work in the new color in kind of this area here, and then when I got to the thumb divine, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna switch over. So now, if you look at it, it's like, that is definitely a different yarn. But I have actually shown these to people and been like, and asked them, like, without any context, can you tell where I switched yarns?
Yeah, and
they say no. And then I explain to them and I show them the different yarns, and then they're like, oh yeah, now I see it.
Yeah.
But
because
particularly on this side, right there, is the really hard row transition.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but
the helical knitting was just not fun.
No, not when you're working a pattern, because you've got to like, okay, well, I'm not doing this, but this is the row that I'm on.
Yeah.
But I'm actually skipping I have to do it on the next.
Yeah. So maybe next week that'll be. I'll probably be finishing these up in the next week. And
nice.
And as a reminder, here's what the right glove mitt looked like when it was fully complete. Well, not quite complete. I'd have to sew that in and weave all the edges and.
Yeah, but a really nice convertible mitt.
Yeah, convertible mitt. So you got that, and again that's sewed up, and then you can do that. So yeah.
Totally cool. And so I picked up my Heartbeat shawl again. So my Estonian lace shawl by Meeli, M-E-E-L-I, Vant.
Is this the 2 hours for a row?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was more than that to begin with.
Right.
Anyway, so I'm going to say I've probably worked in about maybe 6 or 8 more rows since last we looked at it. Mm-hmm. And you really need, like, it really looks best when it's...
Oh, that's really pretty.
It is really pretty.
That's really
when
pretty.
it's stretched out.
Look, it's a heart.
Yeah.
Oh!
It's hard. I'm fussing with my fingers to try to get it stretched.
Yeah.
Anyway. It has become easier. I think the part that was taking me so long at the beginning were actually these little sections down here. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was like 4 hours to do the knit row and then a couple hours to purl back. And now it's more like at knit night, I actually was working on this at knit night.
Yeah, which is like 2 hours.
Which is 2 hours, and there's people talking and stuff going on. And I got about 3/4 of a row done.
Nice.
Wow.
So to be able to do that with all the other things that are going on, that's pretty great. And just like sort of speaking of knit night, I'd like to send out healing thoughts to one of our fellow knitters. She fell the other day and broke her back. And I believe she's having surgery today. And I'm worried and concerned for her, which I think is understandable.
Yeah.
So just really, oh gosh, I'm getting weepy. It's so sad.
Yeah.
I hope it all goes well for her. She was actually taking care of one of her doggies who had injured his back when she fell. He's been on 24-hour-a-day care, and she was carrying him out to do his business. And anyway, so if you have healing thoughts, put them out into the atmosphere. So for our friend, yeah. So I think so. Those are the one I didn't work on. Wingspan.
Okay.
The feathery shawl.
Yep.
And I took this time. I was like, okay, I'm going to spend some time on Heartbeat, and I really have to get those socks done. And yes, I had finished Hearten because I tried it on.
Yes, you finished. Hearten has been displayed.
Okay.
And finished. And...
So yes, Hearten is finished, and then I wet washed it and blocked it. And I don't know, so last time I was showing you, the sleeves were coming to about here, which was exactly what I wanted, so I could gently push them up here. So after blocking, the sleeves are right down at my wrist. I think it was the shoulder seam, even though it's sewn, it's a sewn seam. But I think a combination of the stretch that Superwash yarn has down the arm and the shoulder seam, because the shoulder seam has come sort of down here now.
Yeah.
But it's still, gosh, I love that sweater.
Yeah.
I loved knitting it. I loved the yarn I used. I love the finished product. Heavily modified. I'm going to get some decent pictures of it and then go in and complete my project page and put in the modifications I did for making it into a larger size, because it worked. It's nice. I'm very happy with it.
It looks great on you.
That was a total, like...
Yeah.
I hope this works. I hope my modifications make something that can be worn in the end. But anyway, so I guess that's what I've been doing. So, Mike!
Hi!
What do you bring to the table?
Oh, what I bring to the table is a game that I was first introduced to at the boarding house cafe. And Robyn apparently knows from her youth.
I got it as a Christmas present when I was maybe 8 years old, and it was my favorite game for my entire childhood.
It is a party game called Quelf. Q-U-E-L-F.
Okay.
Quelf is a simple roll and move game, and every space that you move onto is a specific color. And that corresponds to 5 decks? Yeah, 5 decks.
Yeah.
Each of them following a different theme of some sort. One of them is quizzes. One of them is showbiz, where you have to get up and do stuff. One of them is stunts, where you have to maybe do stuff that is harder to do.
Questionable,
perhaps. Anyway, it's just a fantastic party game.
The first time we played it at boarding house.
Yes.
Thank goodness we had friends working that night.
Yes. I asked them for, following the instructions of the card, I asked them for maybe a handful of ice cubes. And then shoved them down my pants and kept rolling the dice until I rolled a 6.
Oh my goodness.
Which I wish I had gotten footage of, because I was in tears laughing.
Oh my god. And then you end up looking like you... I mean, well, then how do you get him out?
Then I ran to the bathroom.
Okay. Because I'm like, you'd end up looking like you peed your pants.
Thankfully, it didn't take me too long to roll a 6 and get those out.
Thankfully, everyone working there is really good humored.
Yeah.
Well, they have to be. It's a gaming place.
And they were watching laughing, so I really quietly walked up after and showed the owner the card, and she was like, yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple cards that were drawn. Like, this is actively disrupting to this business,
right?
So we'll skip that and draw another one,
right?
But on the floor laughing from the things people had to do.
Oh my gosh, that's Quelf.
Quelf.
Q-U-E-L-F.
Okay.
It's so much fun.
Oh my gosh. And then you sent me the link for that.
Don't Get Got.
Don't Get Got.
Because I saw that it's finally available in Canada.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mentioned that game on a previous Bringing to the Table, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looked like fun.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you've got me into a D&D campaign.
Maybe. We're still figuring that out.
Yeah.
Still figuring out the logistics of that.
So yeah, so that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. What's going on with you?
Not much.
No?
Working.
No. Work.
Going back to school.
Going back to school.
Nice. What are you going back to school for?
Education assistant. So I'm going to be working hopefully in a high school at some point.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. That's a neat thing to do. And you've been looking at going back to school.
I've been looking at going back to school.
For?
The course will be, or the program will be Computer Information Systems. So
Okay.
programming.
Right.
And, just trying to get a certificate that I can point to and say, look, I know what I'm doing.
Yes. Right? Yeah. It's not like, oh, I know computers.
Yeah, I know how to program. Let me,
Here, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
See, look, someone else says that I know computers
Yeah.
too.
Still figuring out the logistics of that, but
Yeah.
it's a thought on the horizon.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yay for both of you.
Yeah. What about you? What are you up to?
Well, I've been knitting.
Now that your wrists aren't hurting all day, every day.
My wrist yesterday, which is the same. It's the same thing.
Oh yeah.
This was so sore last night.
Oh no.
And I think while we've been knitting, there's been a few times where I've been like, I don't know what it is, but I cannot knit this project. So starting out with the that shawl from Disdero.
Yes. Oh yeah, the Ranchero shawl.
The Ranchero shawl.
Yeah.
And it was like I changed needles. I did so many things. But it's just as soon as I start knitting that, it hurts.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to think that it's possibly the more rustic yarns, like the less processed, the less spun yarns. Because it's the socks that I'm knitting right now. I knit socks all the time.
Yeah.
And the needles I'm using, they're not my normal sock needles,
Yeah.
but they're also not a size that's highly unusual for me to work with. It's not like I'm switching between. Actually, I think they're they're like just like a size off, I think, from the needles I'm using for the shawl. So it's not like I've got this dramatic swing between these big needles and these little needles in my hand. The only thing that is consistent about the projects that I've gone, oh man, that is really hurting me, is the way the yarn spun.
Interesting.
And So I don't know. That's what I'm going with. But no, I was not really a happy camper yesterday.
That's unfortunate.
Or not even so much the way it's spun, but like the merino, even if it's not superwash, right? Like a merino yarn, it slides a bit better.
Yeah.
And it's not that the yarn doesn't slide. Like, I just don't even know what to say. Like, just the coarser sheep breed yarn. Because I didn't even have a problem with the Wensleydale loop.
Yeah, I would have called that a very coarse.
It was yarn, like a totally weird novelty yarn. Like and it was like huge needles and stuff, and I didn't have a problem with that. So I don't know. I don't know.
Interesting.
I was having a problem the other day at work. I'm worried I may be developing carpal tunnel syndrome because I was having a problem right in here. It was just off and on getting sore.
Well, see, that's where my tendonitis is.
Okay.
So you should probably be wearing some sort of a
I mean, yeah, it hasn't bothered me in a little bit now, but there was like 2 days where it was just off and on in like hour-long cycles.
Yeah, because like, and I can see this is very swollen right there.
Oh, look at that. Okay, well.
So yeah, you should grab my
braces.
My one, and it's not like, don't wait till it hurts to wear it. Just wear
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so there you go.
There you go. Tendinitis.
I'm not making. I'm just saying that's. You know, that's where. Yeah.
It's an interesting.
I don't have that like bump there.
Oh yeah.
But it's right there, and then this starts to hurt up here too, because it runs right down.
Yeah.
Right down.
Anyway.
Okay. How do you like us so far? Okay, so yeah, I guess that's
about it.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for joining us today. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share here on YouTube. It really helps us out, reach a larger audience. Follow us on Instagram, Close Knit Family Knitcast. Join us on Ravelry. All the information for that will be on the end card and in the description. And as always, keep your knitting close and your family closer. Bye.